how can law number 4 help us press the button, get to that place of turning this brilliance into action?
I think that the story that I shared that Lane gave me when she gave that roasting, it connects these two things. So law number 4 is all about magnifying your influence. It's all about continuing to accelerate your growth, leading other people, which ultimately is all about meeting people where they're at and helping them along their own journey in a desired direction, and all about magnifying the people around you. All about sponsorship, essentially, is law number 4. And the reason why it connects so deeply to law number 3 and connecting with intent is the people that you surround yourself with fuel your self-belief. They see possibility where you see impossibility. They're holding you accountable. They're like this, I visualize it as almost this beautiful, nice, cozy blanket that is going, you're all right, we got your back. It's okay, we're here. Don't worry about it. And yes, they'll commiserate with you because it's not all unicorns and rainbows by any means. But they don't want to create drama. Their role is they lift you out of it and get you back on track towards where it is that you're having. And so those people almost become our security blanket to help us live law number 4, which is all about this ability to magnify your influence, to ensure that you're not holding and hoarding your ideas to yourself, but you're actually leading your industry, your world, your family, your society, your community, and being brave enough to speak up and share your voice, to ensure that you are doing it consistently, and that you realize that actually your job only ever is to make people around you even better. That's all we've got to do. It's not about keeping it all to yourself. It's not about survival of the fittest or, you know, protecting myself from other people. Your role only ever is about helping others rise more, helping others become more, helping others magnify and amplify their genius, their brilliance, because that's the only way we're ever going to change anything. It's the only way we're going to lead organizations through and out of this current situation that we're in. It's the only way we're going to evolve from disconnection to connection, from fractured working to clarity, from overlaying fear or replacing fear and anxiety with a sense of calmness, of helping everybody feel like they actually matter, that they have a reason for being. And your job, I believe the job of any leader is about creating that space to allow other people to thrive. And so it comes back to law 1, because how can you create a space for other people to thrive if you're doubting yourself, if you feel like an imposter, if you don't have any belief really in what you're doing, if you're not brave enough to speak up? And this is where this cycle, I want to break it, and it keeps coming back. So the whole book, Chad, it is an ever-evolving thing, because I really truly believe that life is about one of constant growth, constant learning, constant development. It's one of constant reflection. You never get there. I love Simon Sinek's work at the moment around the infinite game. It's exactly what our lives are. We're an infinite game. There is no end. And so this book, the intention is to give people a framework to be able to see where they're at and go, okay, this is what I need to work on right now. Because if I work on that, that becomes better. Number 3 becomes better. Number 4 becomes better. Oh my God, I'm struggling with my leadership. What's going on? I've forgotten to earn my spotlight. I'm starting to doubt myself. Right, what's the work I need to do here? And it's almost this infinite game of constant checking, rechecking, getting better, so that ultimately, the more you can quit the imperfections, rise above your limitations, own your incredible person that you are, of what you think and who you're being, the more impact that we can have. And that's ultimately my wish for people reading this book. And
that could be a wrap. That's beautiful. Jaine, you're such a joy to chat with. I feel grateful to be invited back to re-interview you. And I think the way that you just tied law number 4 into number 1, thinking about how much more qualified Shane or other people are to tell you your value than Fred, right? Fred is unbelievably unqualified to
Yeah.
tell you whether you should be gifting the world your brilliance or not. And so I'm very glad that Shane was that invitation to magnify your brilliance, and thinking about Zoom calls with 7 pages, which, if you're not familiar with Zoom, is hundreds of people
Oh, yeah.
all gathered, is a really a beautiful illustration of what magnifying your influence through being authentic and actually vulnerable, because asking for help is quite vulnerable. So this is so joyful. I'm assuming I'm listening to you now live in the moment. For everybody else that's listening, where do we get your book? How do I read it? How do I go a little bit deeper with this? How do I spend 8 hours with you alone in my cozy nook reading your words and some of your insights?
Oh, fabulous. Well, first of all, if you head over to bebrilliantbook.com, there's all the details there about how to buy your book. You can buy it at all leading retailers on and offline. It's available around the world already. And the other thing is head on over to my podcast, Unleashing Brilliance, which again is everywhere. Because part of this journey is listening to other people's take on it, other people's stories. Thank you, Chad. That's how we got into conversation, because you're a guest on that. You know, other people's own versions of getting to their brilliance. It is really through listening in where the genius is.
Thanks for your time and your wisdom and your
Thank you.
thoughts.